Day 3 of our build, and we're absolutely exhausted. Pun definitely intended. Stay tuned while we install the GrimmSpeed external wastegate uppipe and the limited divorce downpipe. As we mentioned, the two things we're going to be doing today are the uppipe and downpipe. So for those of you who haven't worked on an EJ series motor like this, the downpipe is just right back here behind the turbo, and the uppipe you can't really see. It's down there connected to your exhaust manifold. So once we get the car up in the air, we're going to be able to see a little bit better and then drop the exhaust manifold and pipe together. Now, Muchee opted to go with an external wastegate uppipe, but he's actually not doing an external wastegate setup just yet. So what a lot of people do these days, they'll buy this pipe along with the external wastegate block off, and it'll go right there, turning it into a standard internally gated pipe until that person's ready. They throw it on, retune, and then they get all the benefits of an external wastegate setup.
Hey, I'm Chase and I'm the Senior Design Engineer here at GrimmSpeed, and today we are going to look at the GrimmSpeed Limited Downpipe and talk about why you want one for your turbo Subaru. Now, one of the things that you need to know about turbos is that since they work on a pressure differential, that is high pressure before, low pressure after, that if we make the lower pressure after, that's the downpipe section, even lower, then we'll increase turbine efficiency and then we can make more power. Now, one of the ways that we do that is with our downpipe, we make the tube bigger tuber, lower restrictioner, and we also get rid of both of these cats. Now, these cats are super expensive, but they're not very good flowing. Now this cat, also pretty expensive, flows pretty damn good, if I may say so myself. Some of the other features of the downpipe are that we include 1/2-inch thick flanges. We have an additional O2 bung, if you want to use a wideband O2 sensor for tuning or you just like to monitor it while you drive around. And then we offer this black ceramic coating. Now the black ceramic coat is nice because it keeps heat inside the pipe. If you keep heat inside the pipe, it keeps it outside of your engine bay, which is good for under hood temperatures, but also it keeps the energy inside the exhaust gas, and that lets it exit the tailpipe faster. So all around, that's a W. And it looks really cool. One of the things that's often overlooked too when thinking about getting a downpipe is its ability to control boost. Now the stock downpipe just has a flat flange, so when the flow comes out of the wastegate, it hits that wall and then has to make a turn where it goes down into the pipe. So we've alleviated that by using what's called a divorce design, where we've given it its own tube that meets up with the rest of the exhaust flow about a foot and change down. Now that helps reduce turbulence for both the wastegate flow and the exhaust flow, so that's a double win right there. But we've also done things like including the shield that's also trying to separate the flow inside the turbine. Now, if you buy the limited downpipe, we've machined away that section and it makes kind of a funnel, which encourages the boost even more so to funnel down to that tube. All those things combined can help you increase your boost control potential and ultimately make your car much happier.
Now now that we've got the downpipe out, you're gonna be able to see where the uppipe starts right underneath the turbo here. So we're gonna be taking the heat shield and exhaust manifold up there, slinking that out, and then putting the new one in. Now, normally if we were running an external wastegate instead of the block off, the wastegate would sit right about here, and then the dump tube would go over the axle for an atmospheric dump of the wastegate. We're not gonna be doing that this time. We'll just do the block off, put the uppipe on, and then finish off with the downpipe right here.
These are coming off
Real easy. Hey, there's a will, there's a win. Since we got the old uppipe out and we're gonna be replacing it with the GrimmSpeed external wastegate unit, we have to prep this real quick. So the new unit comes with brand new hardware and gaskets so we can get rid of this old stuff and replace it with that. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is put the 5 studs for the turbo side on, and these you basically hand tighten in, and then a little trick to getting them more tight than that would be to put one nut on, put another one on over the top, and then you want to tighten them against themselves. Go. Oh. And now you're able to rotate the stud in as tight as you need. Then when that's done, you just loosen them back up. Take them off and then do it 4 more times. The other thing we're gonna be doing, as I mentioned, Muchee is putting on the external uppipe, but he's not gonna be running external setup right away. He's gonna do that in his future too. And so we're gonna equip it with the GrimmSpeed external wastegate block off. And essentially it's this plate that goes on here with a V-band clamp that seats like that. And then once you've got it tightened up, it just becomes a regular internally gated uppipe until you're ready to switch it out for an external wastegate. All right, after a bit of struggle, we've got the uppipe in. It's a tight squeeze in there between the subframe and the engine, but we managed to get it. Now we're gonna be putting the exhaust manifold back up. One of the things we're gonna be switching out while we do that is the OEM gaskets. This car only has about 10,000 miles on them, so they're still in pretty decent shape. We probably could reuse them, but we're gonna go ahead and switch them up to the GrimmSpeed gaskets. You can see the GS gaskets are about 20 to 30% thicker. And also a cool thing about these, you can see the bolt hole here is cut out a little bit more. That's to fit FA motors. So if you had a BRZ or a 15 Plus WRX, you could use these as well. So what we're gonna do is put these back up, zip the manifold up, and then continue on to the downpipe. And then after we have that sort of mocked up, we're gonna tighten everything up and we'll be done with the exhaust part of the build. the last thing we need to do is throw on the GrimmSpeed heat shield. Basically what this thing does is shield heat away from the intercooler. So your turbo and downpipe obviously produce a lot of heat that's going to be radiating up to the intercooler, and the name of the game there is to keep it as cool as possible. So we're going to put this essentially in between and keep that out. Now Muchee also opted for the thermal ceramic coated downpipe and uppipe, and that acts as essentially a heat wrap that's just painted on. So it's a functional coating, not like a powder coat or anything. So that'll aid keeping the heat in the piping and away from the intercooler as well. All right, heat shield is all tightened up. One little word of advice with any of the aftermarket heat shields, especially on 15 plus STIs, the wiring harness here is a little bit bigger, so it can rub on here. What we recommend is just sticking a zip tie with one of these hard lines back here, making sure it's not making any contact with the sharp portion of the heat shield. We're all finished up with the exhaust portion of the build. We've got the OEM uppipe and downpipe. We can toss these, we're not gonna need them. Overall, the exhaust portion went pretty well. Once you take off the OEM heat shielding and the downpipe, it opens up a lot of space to work with. It helps having a lift to be able to lift it up, but it's not to say you can't do it in your garage. I've done it plenty of times myself without much trouble. One thing we also did is route the lines for the AOS before we put the intercooler and all those things on top of it, so that's all good. Next, we're gonna be moving on to the intake. We're gonna be doing the intercooler and the boost controller, along with a couple other last minute mods, and then putting everything back together. We're gonna start the car up. Hopefully there's no fuel leaks and it runs okay with the base map that we got from our tuner, and then we're gonna head out to the tuning shop and see what he can do on the dyno. All right, here's the big moment. We're gonna be doing the first giveaway of the series, and this one has everything to do with apparel. So why don't we head into our assembly room where all of our clothing is stashed, and we'll pick some stuff out and pick a random winner. Could be one of you guys watching right now. So here's where we keep all the t-shirts, hoodies, hats, all that kind of stuff. For this one, as we mentioned in the last video, we're gonna be giving away fleece pullover, a snapback hat like this, and one of the GrimmSpeed manufacturing t-shirts like the one I'm wearing in white or black, whatever you prefer. And we're gonna do this randomly. So you guys have gone on our Instagram and commented on the contest post. I'm gonna go ahead and go to that, and then I'm gonna let one of our assemblers pick at random. So Tony, you wanna help us out? Yeah. Okay, so here is the post that we had. We had a decent amount of comments on here, and I'm just gonna scroll through randomly, see where we land. And Tony, and our winner is, you can let go, Season WRX. Easy name. Woo! We're gonna go. So we're gonna hit you with a follow back. Thank you for following us already, Alex. And you have a very lovely, looks like 15 plus, is that STI? STI or WRX? Well, it's got the STI wing, so unless you modded it that way. Awesome, 15 plus STI, congratulations on the win. And for the rest of you guys, we're gonna be doing another contest in the next video. I don't know what we're giving away yet, but it's gonna be bigger than the apparel package, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, thanks for watching the videos we've already put out. Hop on our Instagram page like that. If you're not following us on YouTube, do that. Comment with what you wanna see out of us, and otherwise, we'll see you next time.